If you're a Social Security beneficiary, work overtime, or earn tips, your income could be directly impacted by the sweeping new tax cut proposals from Donald Trump. As the 2024 election heats up, Trump is campaigning on eliminating federal income taxes on Social Security benefits, tips, and overtime pay. But behind the scenes, lawmakers are raising serious concerns about the future of the Social Security Trust Fund, which is already facing insolvency by 2033. With over 72 million Americans depending on these monthly payments, any shift in funding or policy could create massive ripple effects. Meanwhile, new reports show tension surrounding Doge's role in eliminating government waste and fraud, and whether $1.5 trillion in expected savings will materialize. This video breaks it all down: what's proposed, what's at risk, and what it means for your benefits. Stay informed and protect your future. Watch till the end. With the most accurate and timely updates on Social Security, tax reforms, and economic policies affecting everyday Americans. Let's start with the facts. According to official reports from the Social Security trustees, the Social Security Trust Fund is projected to become insolvent by either 2033 or 2034. This means that, unless major reforms are enacted soon, the fund will no longer be able to pay out full benefits. Current projections show that once the fund hits insolvency, beneficiaries will likely receive only about 80% of their promised monthly benefits, a sudden 20% reduction that could devastate millions relying on this program for survival. And this isn't just a future problem. Experts warn that failure to act now will result in rushed, reactive decisions later. Time is running out. Now, let's talk about the center of this policy storm: Donald Trump's proposed Big Beautiful Bill, which includes sweeping tax reforms aimed at American workers and retirees. The key highlights of this bill include: elimination of federal income tax on Social Security benefits, tax cuts on overtime income, no federal taxes on tipped income, border security funding. At first glance, these proposals sound like a win for working-class Americans and retirees. Who wouldn't want to keep more of their hard-earned money or see their Social Security checks arrive tax-free? But there's a catch, and it's a big one. The proposed package is expected to increase the national deficit by $5.3 trillion over the next decade. With the federal debt already exceeding $34 trillion, lawmakers from both parties are raising serious concerns about whether this level of deficit spending is sustainable, or even responsible. In Congress, the margins are razor-thin. In the House, Republicans hold a narrow majority. In the Senate, all it takes is for 2 Republican senators to defect and vote with Democrats, and the entire tax plan could fall apart. This makes every vote crucial and every negotiation politically charged. House Speaker Mike Johnson has expressed strong support for pushing the bill through by July 4, just before Congress breaks for recess. But the timeline is tight, and internal opposition is growing. The debate is no longer just about tax relief, it's about how to fund it without jeopardizing Social Security stability. To make this massive tax reform palatable, Trump's team is banking on $1.5 trillion in government savings, and those savings are supposed to come from a controversial AI program known as Doge. Short for Digital Oversight for Government Efficiency, Doge is designed to uncover fraud, waste, and abuse within federal programs, especially Social Security. In theory, Doge could identify billions, or even trillions, in savings by eliminating ghost beneficiaries, duplicate payments, and unnecessary administrative costs. But there's a major problem: the savings so far are nowhere near expectations. As of April 14, Doge has only saved the federal government $155 billion, a far cry from the $1.50 to $2 trillion needed to fund Trump's agenda. Adding to the problem, a federal judge recently restricted Doge's access to personalized Social Security data, limiting its ability to detect fraud. While Doge can still access redacted or anonymized data, this significantly hampers its effectiveness. Some lawmakers are growing increasingly skeptical. According to sources close to Capitol Hill, many long-serving members of Congress are resisting Doge, not because they don't want to save money, but because deeper audits might expose decades of inefficiencies and possibly even corruption. Younger, newly elected legislators are more enthusiastic about Doge's mission, pushing for aggressive audits and transparency. But without bipartisan support, the program's long-term effectiveness, and its political viability, are in question. If Doge fails to deliver the promised savings, Trump's tax plan may collapse under its own weight. And if that happens, Social Security could be left even more vulnerable. The grim reality is this: without a viable solution to offset tax cuts, Social Security could reach insolvency sooner than projected. That's not fearmongering, it's a warning echoed by economists, former Social Security commissioners, and even some members of Congress. While President Trump has repeatedly promised not to touch Social Security benefits, his proposals indirectly threaten the program's funding sources. By eliminating taxes on overtime, tips, and benefits, three revenue streams that contribute to Social Security, the program's income could be significantly reduced. This raises a fundamental question: how do you promise more to taxpayers without cutting essential services or finding new revenue? Here's where things get strategic. According to multiple experts, including former Social Security officials, if reform doesn't happen during Trump's potential second term, it may not happen at all. Why? Because future administrations may view Social Security reform as political suicide. Taking action now, during a second and final term, could shield Trump and his allies from electoral blowback. But that also means the clock is ticking, and there's very little room for error. Some believe Congress will wait until the last minute, 2032 or 2033, to pass emergency legislation and claim credit for saving Social Security right before elections. But that strategy puts millions of retirees and disabled Americans at risk of abrupt cuts. Now, let's address a name that keeps popping up in conversations around tech and reform: Elon Musk. While Musk isn't a politician, his endorsement of Doge as a tool for government efficiency has given the program significant visibility. Social Security is facing insolvency by 2033 to 2034 unless major reforms are enacted. Trump's Big Beautiful Bill proposes eliminating federal taxes on benefits, overtime, and tips, but it would increase the deficit by $5.3 trillion. Doge is supposed to save $1.5 trillion, but it's only saved $155 billion so far. If savings can't be found, benefit cuts, or a reduction in cost of living adjustments, could happen sooner than expected. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next critical update. This is not just another political debate. This is your livelihood, your future, and we're here to help you stay ahead of the curve.